Imagine a truth so explosive it shatters everything the world thought it knew about the Brown family, because what you're about to hear isn't just drama, it's a revelation that flips the entire Sister Wives narrative upside down. From hidden motives to shocking confessions, this story uncovers the cracks the cameras never showed. So buckle up, because once we dive into this, nothing about the Browns will ever look the same again. Robyn entered the family at a moment when the foundation was already fragile, and every step she took seemed to shift the air around her in a way that left the other wives quietly wondering how much would change once she settled into the world they had built for so many years. And from the beginning, there was an unusual calmness about her, a practiced softness that made her appear gentle and kind. Yet behind that calm, there was a sense of calculation, a sense that she watched every interaction, measured every word, and tried to understand how she could position herself in a place where she would never be overlooked again, because so much of her past carried stories of emotional shifts, dramatic turns, and choices that surprised the people who once knew her. And when those stories echo repeatedly through different sources, they create a pattern that becomes difficult to ignore, especially when actions viewers witness on screen seem to align with pieces of that pattern in subtle but striking ways. As Robyn stepped into the family dynamic, each wife felt a shift, not always loud, not always immediate, but steady and persistent, like a tide pulling at the sand, reshaping the shoreline grain by grain, until one day, the difference becomes impossible to miss. And while she often spoke softly about unity, loyalty, and the importance of commitment, her presence created an unexpected imbalance as Cody began gravitating toward her with an intensity the others had never experienced from him before, leaving them feeling confused, isolated, and unsure of how their once stable structure was slipping through their fingers in real time. And the suspense of watching this unfold episode by episode kept viewers glued to the screen, because it became clear that every small decision carried weight. Every quiet moment hinted at something larger beneath the surface, and nobody could quite pinpoint the exact moment when the shift became irreversible, but everyone could feel it happening. Robyn expressed concerns about dating in the modern world, about how smartphones complicated relationships, and how she felt sympathy for anyone navigating that space. But those thoughts carried a mysterious undertone, because she herself had never experienced dating outside the world she came from, and her words seemed to hold a quiet fear, a worry rooted not in empathy, but in the possibility of ever being on her own in a world she did not fully understand. And as she spoke about the challenges others faced in finding love, many viewers wondered, ever shifted again? Stories from her past painted pictures of relationships shaped by emotional influence, sudden decisions, and carefully timed actions that surprised even the people closest to her, creating a lingering question about whether those patterns continued into her life with Cody. And as the seasons continued, her role in the family drew more attention as subtle choices gradually aligned in ways that left her positioned at the center, while others found themselves pushed to the edges without fully understanding how it happened. The suspense built slowly with each confession, each disagreement, each scene where emotions simmered beneath calm words, because viewers could see the invisible threads pulling the family dynamic into a new shape, one that seemed designed around Robyn's presence, even if the family could not yet recognize it. And this transformation created one of the most compelling arcs in the entire series, not through controversy, but through quiet, consistent changes that ultimately shifted the emotional balance of the family, setting the stage for one of the most dramatic evolutions in reality television. And each step in the story, no matter how gentle or subtle, contributed to a larger unfolding narrative that keeps audiences returning, searching for answers, searching for understanding, and searching for the moment when everything changed. Though that moment may never be obvious, because sometimes the most powerful transformations happen quietly, beneath the surface, where only the aftermath reveals the true impact of every small choice. As the seasons continued unfolding across the screen, viewers began noticing a delicate but powerful pattern surrounding Robin, a pattern that seemed to influence every emotional shift, every family discussion, and every unexpected turning point within the household, creating a sense of mystery around how she managed to stand at the very center of events without ever appearing forceful, and instead drawing attention through calm expressions, quiet comments, and moments of vulnerability that kept the conversation focused on her feelings and her experiences, while other wives felt themselves slipping further from Cody's attention without knowing how to stop the drift. And as these moments layered together, the suspense deepened because it became clear that every soft-spoken phrase carried weight, and every emotional response created a ripple effect that shaped the decisions the family made, from where they lived to how they communicated, to which relationships faded slowly in the background, and which bonds strengthened in ways that seemed unbreakable in the early years, yet gradually weakened under the quiet pressure of Robin's presence. And the changes became especially noticeable when conversations about unity, trust, and commitment began revolving around Robin's comfort and stability, while the other wives felt their long-standing roles diminish without any dramatic confrontation, simply through a steady realignment of where attention, affection, and energy flowed within the house and shared had faded into something entirely different, something shaped by distance, misunderstandings, and emotional exhaustion that seemed to grow despite every attempt at healing. Conversations that once flowed easily now carried hesitation, pauses, and underlying discomfort, as though years of unspoken feelings had finally risen to the surface, leaving everyone unsure of how to move forward. And yet, throughout this transformation, Robin maintained a complex blend of concern, sensitivity, and emotional expression that kept her at the center of Cody's focus, even as the rest of the family felt themselves pulled further away, creating a dynamic where her presence seemed to anchor the entire household, whether intentionally or not. And by the time the tension reached its highest point, viewers realized they were watching not just the shift of a family, but the unraveling of a long history shaped by choices made slowly, intentionally, and sometimes unknowingly, as each step carved a new path forward. And that path left the audience wondering how much of what had happened was coincidence, how much was emotional adaptation, and how much was shaped by deeper fears and motivations that remained hidden behind careful smiles, gentle words, and a story still unfolding across the screen, drawing viewers back again and again to uncover what truths remain tucked beneath the surface of every moment shared on camera. And there you have it, a truth that cuts deeper than any episode ever could. Because when the masks come off and the stories stop matching the reality, it hits harder than anyone expects. The Brown family's future is no longer about what the cameras capture, but about what they can no longer hide. So stay tuned, because this saga is far from over, and the next chapter might just be the most explosive one yet.